Hello guys. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be a little bit hard for me because I'm doing this for the first time. I'm going to be I'm playing Genshin. Okay, so this is my Genshin game that I've been playing on and off for past few years, and I've recently during my exams somehow I don't know how that happens that I usually download the game during my exams or just before my exams. This time happened same thing. But yeah, this is just the gameplay that I did, and I'm just going to voice over it because yeah, and as the title may suggest that I'm gonna share with you my AIBE story, my AIBE experience, which was a bit traumatic for me. Um, yeah, in case you don't know, AIBE is All India Bar Examination, which is an national level, country level um, entry into bar examination for all the law graduates. So if you have, even if you're not a law graduate, even if you have you're in the last semester, you can still give it. So yeah, All India Bar Examination. And yeah, I'm talking about India, so All India Bar Examination. So it's if you're Indian and you know a little bit about law or bar exam in general, or competitive exam or entrance exam in general, so you're gonna resonate with me. And if you're not familiar with the system here, it's still gonna be pretty entertaining, I believe, because others misery is pretty entertaining, huh? Anyways, so yeah, please bear with me because it's my first video and I don't know how to tell you in this way, because I've only shared this with my close friends who have been like near me during that time, in that same atmosphere. Like all of us were like lawyer or law students, and some of us were giving the exam and some of us weren't giving the exam. So yeah, I don't think I even told my like non-law besties about this. So yeah, I'm gonna share this video to you directly. Just increase my dramatics to like 20%, or because if I told them directly on the phone, then I would just it would be an experience. But since it's my first time doing this and sharing it on internet, I'm gonna keep it a little bit low key and not as dramatic as I would like. But anyways, it's already, I don't know how much yapping I've done. This I should just start. Okay, so where should I start? Yeah. So first of all, the biggest stupidest thing. I mean, I don't even know what to say because the center that I was given was so freaking far away. Like all of my friends who got centers, okay, who were allotted centers, were giving in like 5 different directions of the state, of the city, right? My friends who live near to this one area were giving the center just opposite, literally like kilometers. Like I'm not talking about like 5-6 kilometers, I'm talking about 10, 20, 30 kilometers away from that place. And the others who were living, close to that center, which was close to their place, no, they were giving in the opposite directions. And yeah, I was giving my other 2 friends who were really close to me, we were preparing it together. They were giving in, like, we were giving in 3 different directions and 3 different routes and everything. So yeah, and I didn't even talk to anyone who was going to that center because I didn't know anyone going into that center, and I didn't even ask that. Let's just to face it alone. So I was giving the center. It's like, okay, fine, I'll go through metro and then I'll take a like Rapido, like a, what's to say, it's a cab service but for bikes, or I might take an auto if I found one. Yeah, so after doing my due diligence, right, I figured out how to get there. I went to the metro station. So you can't even go. Okay, what happened at the metro? Okay, you know what? I was in the metro, and then I had to change the line, and I don't wanna I don't wanna share the exact metro or the city that I was with, but it was. And if you're if you're from that area, you're gonna understand it when I say next thing. It's just the route was so, I won't say, okay, it's not stupid. I think this is on me. This thing is on me that I was the one who should have, looked properly and checked after every freaking station, right? If the fucking metro is going into the same direction, I shouldn't swear. Anyways, so I was going near the metro station. I knew I had to change the line, so I changed the line and then I sat into the metro, right? And I was like, okay, I was waiting for this station that I have to get off. I was waiting. Okay, so then this station passed, which was like just before my station, right? So this is the station. I was like, okay, next is gonna be my station. So I was waiting for the name to call out of the station that I had to get off, and then it didn't. On that station, the train operator changed, or train operator came into this, and then he started, and I was just like, it was very fascinating to me because I was like sitting at the first coach, so I was just observing that. So, and then he went on, and then the next station was not the station, it was on my station. And then I was so, what is going on? And it took comparatively longer to reach the next station so that I could get off it and understand what the hell happened. And then I was checking the map, the route of the metro stations, and I saw that, oh, here's this, my station is like mentioned, right? And then just before it, it's the station is mentioned, and then my station is mentioned in a, like a, how do I say this? So it is, but it's just in like a perpendicular direction. So I was like, okay, if this metro is not going into that direction, then why did they tell us to get off the metro, saying that it won't go in that direction? So that happened, and then I got off the metro, and then I was trying to figure out what to do, and I was just like standing there in, like, still in no motion for like 10 minutes. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to, shit, I shouldn't swear. Anyways, at that time this thing popped into my head. So there's this Murphy's law, which states that everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And I kid you not, this thing popped into my head at that time just because I missed the stop, right? It popped into my head and I said it out loud, and I said, oh my god, like, this is a thing, and this could happen. And then I was just like, oh, that's fine. I was just amused by this thing. And then I like got to the opposite side of the station, took the metro back to the previous station, and then I figured out that, oh, I had to change the station, and it was just like, it felt like I was switching from one train to another train. Just like, I got off this train and now I'm running and catching the other train. It 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 was crazy. I liked that experience. It was very fun. It was an experience, I would say. Okay, so somehow I managed to get in on the right metro station, and somehow I reached the station that I was supposed to reach, which was still far away from my examination center. Okay, when I got off, then I hired a Rapido, which is an Uber but with bike. And I waited. Like, it, I think it took him like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to get there. Thank God I was like at least an hour early so that everything would be in motion. I didn't want to be late because I know whenever every single time I go somewhere for the first time, I get lost because I have an horrible sense of direction and I have accepted that and I can't for it to happen in my time. So, anyways, I was there standing in the middle of not in the middle of the road but like in the side of the road, just like close to the metro station, in what's it called, in Bhari Dophari. Not, it was not Dophari. Wait, wasn't it? It was like 11:30, 12 p.m. You would call it a Bhari Dophari, which is like, I don't know, like afternoon, noon. Like the heat was at its peak. It was so hot, and I had nothing like on my face, no dupatta, no scarf, no stone to cover my face. And I was there standing and thinking, oh my god, thank god at least the Rapido bhaiya would have an helmet so that I would wear it on my head. And there's another thing about me, that I don't like dhoop, I don't like sun, I don't like being in sun and being in direct sunlight, like usually in summer or like other than winter seasons. I get like it's not good for me. I get headaches, my head hurts, I start getting headaches. I think I might have a migraine, but that's another issue because sometimes, okay, I'm just derailing. Okay, come to the point. So then that Rapido bhaiya came, and lo and behold, for the first time in my entire life, the Rapido bhaiya did not have a second helmet. And I was counting on that helmet. In my entire life, I dread that second helmet. Every time I had to take a Rapido, I was like, now I have to wear this helmet. I don't want to wear this helmet. I don't want to wear helmet. I wear helmet all the time when I'm driving. I don't want to wear it, but I have to wear it because obviously safety protocols. And this one freaking time that I wanted to wear it, that I was looking forward to wearing it in this so goddamn heat and a heat wave, he didn't have it, and I had nothing to cover my head, my hair, which was like literally warm, very warm. And as you know about Indian genes, our dark hairs get very, they absorb heat, and it's very warm if I stay in sunlight for longer than like 5 minutes. Anyways, somehow, forgot for a second, somehow, through the freaking horrible road conditions in India and the highways and the streets and everything, I somehow made it near. I'm talking near the center. Okay, first of all, we were so close to the border of another state that if I had walked like 5 steps, I would have gotten in another state. Like, can you imagine? The center that I was given was literally on the border of another state. Like, I could have said that, oh, I just went casually, I just went to this state today. Also, it was near a freaking jail. That's beside the point. The point being, so there was this gully, right? There was this slender street which I have to travel to reach my center, right? Oh my god, I'm playing so horribly when it is dead. See, what the anyways, I have to change my team to beat this. Anyways, let's take the topic. So, wait, what was that? I'm just giving you like literally a best friend treatment. Like, I've called up my best friend and told her about like this thing that happened. Anyways, we're like literally 15 minutes in and we haven't even started the main story yet. Oh my god, I yapped so much. I was thinking like 1 hour of gameplay was gonna be so much that I won't be able to talk, but I am talking. Oh my god, can you imagine watching this video? 1 hour of gameplay and I'm 1 hour of like literally yapping nothing about the game, just like literally my experience. Anyways, okay, so yeah, the street, it was so much traffic on that slender street. Cars were passing, bikes were passing, freaking lorries and like autos were passing out. It was not even that, it was a very small street. I don't understand why we have to, I do understand. Anyways, so my Rapido bhaiya was like trying to get through the traffic, which was like very bad. Like literally any vehicle could like pass by you from any direction. There was a freaking, what's it called, nala, like sewage system, right, sewer, that was like literally on both sides of the street. And then there were shops and there were people and they were crossing and there were also freaking cars parked. Why were there cars parked? Oh my god. Anyways, right, so the bhaiya tried to divert the bike to this another street just before to reach there. And I was like, Via, how far is it? And he said like it's just like 10, like 5 minutes walk. And I was like, if it's not possible to get through the traffic, I can just get off here. And he was like, yes, if you get off here, that will be good. Then I was like, okay, I just got off there. And oh my god, another thing that I didn't tell you is that it is an open book examination, right? And I was carrying like 25 bare acts, then like another with a photocopy and then another with an index. Anyways, like I had like a huge handbag, right? And they were, so I had this huge bag with all the bare acts, all my admit card and my pencil box inside of it, and my phone also, right? So I somehow got off the bike, and then I somehow like zigzagged through, made my way through where the center was. And I was watching the school. It was a school which was my center. It was a public school. It was like school for, I don't know, elementary, middle school children. And I was watching the facade of the facade, I don't know, facade of the school. And there was nobody on the gate. Like it didn't feel that an examination was going to be taken place. And I kid you not, I was scared for a second there that I had gotten in the wrong center, that I somehow mistaken it to be this place when it was in like a different place, and I was going to like run across the city again to find my center. And I was just shell shocked for a moment, and I was just standing there. And then somehow there was this man behind me who was sitting on a bike which was standing. The bike was standing, he was sitting on it, and he was like, you want to go to the school? I was like, yes. He said the entry is on through the street. And I was like, okay, thanks. And then I went through the street, and yes, the entry was through the street. So my center, I went through the street, okay, and on the left side there was a gate where I have to enter. So I entered, and there was a lot of people there, okay, be normal crowd of people, students coming to give examination, right? I went there, and they were checking and I asked where should I put. So I pulled all of my bare acts and everything, my water bottle, outside of my handbag, and I put it on a bench there. There was a wooden bench there, a long wooden bench, and I put it on the bench. You know the kind of bench in the government school, the wooden bench which is long but not that space to keep your back side in there. So that was the bench. uh, I put my bare axe, I put my admit card and my water bottle there, right? And then I was asking, like, the people that were working in the school that were given the charge of like overseeing the examination, handling the examination or whatever. And I asked them where should I put my bag, and one of the person said you have to put it outside. And then another one said, okay, it's just a handbag, you can put it right here. And I was like, right here. I asked him again that I have my phone in there. Then he said, okay, you have your phone in there, then you have to put your bag outside. There is a room which has a CCTV camera, so it's if you want to keep it safe. And he's like, okay. So I left all my stuff there and I went outside the gate, and it was just opposite. So you remember the street that I got into, and left side was the gate of the school. The right side was a room where literally so many people were standing. Like, oh my god, the crowd there. It was the crowd outside that small room was much more than on the entrance of the school where the actual examination had to take place. And there were so many people, and I was literally dreading going into that room. That's why I didn't want to keep my bag there. Anyways, I had to keep my bag there because I had my phone, and obviously I'm not going to lose my phone. I can't take that risk. Somehow, okay, somehow I somehow made it to, what's it called, like to the just the gate of the room, right? So there were so many, the people were literally hogging the street, half of the street, right? Because of the crowd going to that room to keep their bags and everything there. So I went to, somehow I made it to past the thing, and by this point I think like 15 minutes have passed, right? Mind you, the examination has to be started in, like, I don't know, one half hour, half, like 45 minutes. And in literally, what's it called, literally 15 to 20 minutes, the what's it called, you have to enter the examination hall. That's the time, right? So you have to enter by this is like the entry time, right? Entry time. So entry time was literally in like 15 to 20 minutes, and I was stuck in that crowd for like 15 minutes. Somehow, by like everyone was like how much time it is taking. There was like, the management was so shitty, so bad management. Like, it was taking such a long time for people to put their bags in that place, right? And I was stuck there somehow. Like, you have to be very grit in those circumstances. If you're like very passive, you are gonna be late and you are not going to get your thing done. So I sometimes I just have to grit it, and I have to like force past people. And then I didn't force past it, I just was active. When the line was moving, I had to move and everything, right? So I was just standing there and I was thinking, oh my god, my stuff, all my stuff is there on that freaking seat, whatever. Nobody to look after. All my bare acts were there, in which, mind you, I didn't even put a name on that bare act that it is mine, it belongs to me. No, my water bottle was there, and most importantly my admit card was also there. Like, how can I do this? I put my admit card there. Oh my god. And I was like freaking out. What if someone steals any of these? Like, what if someone steals my admit card? To be honest, I was very, really scared of that, because I wouldn't be able to give examination then, right? So I was just stuck here, and then I saw someone who was from my college. So I, called them. They were getting their bag kept there and everything, and I just told them. They were done. So I told them, my stuff is there. Can you just please check it for me? Just to check it if it's there or not. Or just, if you can, then just please stay there until I come. So I told them. And then I find another girl who also knew me. And I told her the same thing, that my stuff are there. Can you please check it for me? At this point, the entry time, I think entry time has been passed. It's already entry time, and people are literally freaking out that it's the examination is going to start and everything. And somehow, for by God's grace, I knew I would make it in time if only my stuff would be there where I left it. I was just scared about that thing. I got it. Oh, let me tell you another thing. They asked 100 rupees to keep my bag there. 100 rupees. Can you imagine? 100 rupees. And I was with the impression that it's gonna be max 50 rupees. So I had 50 rupees cash because I knew this would happen. And then I have 500 rupees also cash, because you never know when you're. Oh my god, Kachina, what even is going on? What was I saying? Yeah, I have 500 rupees cash, because you never know when you're gonna need it. And so I offered them the 500, and they said they can't cash it, they can't return it. And I was like, you are getting 100 rupees, you're getting hundreds of hundreds, right? Every single student there, every single person there is giving you 100 rupees note, or like 250 notes, and you say you can't cash it. I'm like, very funny. But anyways, so in that freaking crowd, literally there was like no space between two persons. I was stuck there. I was like, I put my phone in my bag, and I just, like, wrapped it up and everything, and put it inside my bag so that it doesn't get stolen or anything. I have to bring out my phone, then I have to, UPI payment 100 rupees to him, because he would not take 500 rupees. Yeah, that happened. Then what happened? Let me remember. Yeah, so finally I was done with putting my bag there. And now the time for entry has way since passed, right? I had to be there at inside it at 12:30, and 12:30 has been passed, right? But fear not, a lot of people were going at that time, because everyone was there, the crowd was there, and after me a lot of people were going to be going inside the center. So I was not alone, so I didn't worry about that. What I did worry about, my stuff inside, which could have been stolen by now. So I checked my, before all of this thing happened, before I just arrived at the center, at the school, I checked my admit card, I checked my roll number on the seating plan, and then I remember, oh, it was like, I forgot what was it, I think it was like 113 or 103, I don't remember, but like that room number. So that was in my brain. Now, as I was done with putting my bags there, I went inside the actual center, and since I didn't have admit card, I couldn't check it again, what was my, like, where did I have to go, what was my room number. And the room number that I remember earlier, I went by that thing. Now the biggest problem, the biggest, the thing going on in my head was, if my stuff is there or not. I was wishing it didn't get stolen. I went there were almost like during that time a lot of people were not there, and when I see my bare acts in the place where I have put in it, right? But I don't see all the printouts that I've gotten. I don't see my admit card, and I don't see my water bottle. So I see my bare acts and my box and my pencil box, right? And then I, I was literally the times I was scared, like ooh, jump scare. That happened, insane. Then I was like, okay, that's fine. Stay calm. And I saw in like below the desk, there was my stuff. It was all fallen down. And you know what the biggest thing was? As I picked it up, I realized that my admit card and my the printouts were drenched in water. They were wet because there was water down there. Somehow, God forsaken, I don't know how in the middle of the freaking June in such a summer state there was water there. But my admit card was freaking drenched. And I still didn't freak out. I knew I was red in the face, I was flushed, and I was kind of on my way of hyperventilating, but I didn't. I kept my calm, I kept composure. I, wring it out a few times, as how you wring out clothes. You wrangle the clothes and then you like jhatkarna. Yeah, so I did it with my slightly with my admit card, and I kid you not, it was so freaking hot there that it was slowly getting dry. So that was a good thing. But now I had 25 bare acts and 2 3 photocopies, and then on top of that I have my pencil box and my water bottle. And you know what, one good thing I did is that I wore a jeans which had good pockets, so I put my freaking pencil box in one of my pockets, right? And the rest of things can't fit in pocket, not even my water bottles. And yeah, and I bring out my plastic water bottle because I didn't want to lose my Milton bottle that I got for like 1,000 rupees. So yeah, I took a risk, and that risk was me not drinking cold water, but it was worth it. I didn't want to lose it, right? So somehow I went there. Now the problem was, no, there was no problem. The problem was me managing, balancing all of this stuff with both of my hands with a water bottle, and it's horrible. It's very very bad. I should have just taken a freaking bora with me to 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 the freaking room. I think people were taking paper bags and like that kind of, the sabji, the thing that you use to take groceries, that one. I should have just went with that ins- instead of whatever. So now they checked me, right? And let me tell you, all of my stuff fell like twice, just as just as I was like, getting my, security checking and everything that was happening, and my stuff was falling down so many times. Then I put it all aside, put my everything there, and then I then picked it up. And then I was trying to find the room number. So the room number, I don't know, 113 is what I saw, right? I couldn't find the freaking room number. It was so hard to find, but somehow these are very insignificant details, by the way, right? What happened, I will tell you. These all things are insignificant, but I'm just telling you cumulatively how horrible things happened to me, by the way. And then I somehow made it to 113, and as I entered the gate of 113, there was this invigilator. This ma'am, there was this teacher, and she came up to me and she snatched my admit card from my hands. And I kid you not, at this point my admit card is still kind of wet, and I was freaking scared that she is gonna rip it. So I was like, ma'am, wo geela hai, please, it's wet. I said, ma'am, it's wet. I literally said, "Ma'am, वो गीला है, please ध्यान से," right? And then when she snatched it out of my hand, and then she looked at my roll number, and then she matched it with the sheet which was pasted on the door of that room, right? And she matched it. Okay, yeah, this. You're going to sit the last row, second bench, third bench. I don't know. Oh God, third bench. And before I could watch, I could see the roll number which was pasted there, the seating arrangement. Before I could see, she just told me to sit there. And you know what I did? I sat there because at this point, it was already past the time and everybody had gotten their sheets. And I obviously, when I'm past the time, when it's literally almost time, where would your attention be? Your attention would be at the freaking answer sheet, at the freaking question paper, at to finish the freaking exam. So at this point, as soon as I sat there, I was given my sheet, I was given my question paper and my OMR sheet. I was given my OMR sheet. I filled my OMR sheet. I was given question paper, and I was reading the questions. Okay, how was paper, the difficulty level of the paper, and how to actually do the paper. That aside, everything, right? How to do the paper, how was the question paper, I'm keeping all of this aside. That is a whole different thing, right? Okay, so I was reading the question paper and I was giving so it was different sets, right? There were 4 sets for all people, right? So I was giving these specific sets. I don't know what arrangement of questions were in different sets, but let me tell you, the first 10 questions that were given in my set were so horrible, and so, I won't say it's horrible, but it was very difficult. I was not even able to find them by like looking through the bare ads. Oh my god. Okay, one thing that I missed is the freaking size of the table and seat that we were given. Mind you, this is an AIBE exam. This is an open book exam, which everyone knows that we are going to bring at least 25, at least 20 bare acts, photocopies, multiple photocopies. There are people who are like even gotten like 30 plus, 35 plus bare acts. Like there is no limit. You could bring bare act. It just had to be without comments, without commentaries, without notes and everything. So how do I even describe you the length and width of the freaking table? Just imagine a normal sized table. Now break it in half. Now chop off some of its length, like at least, like, I don't know, I don't know measurements, I'm sorry, but let me tell you that even without the bare acts, even without anything extra, it was hard to even put one thing, like one sheet of paper or one notebook in there. It was that small. And the desk that oh my god, the desk I was sitting in, it was so small, and it was very disadvantage to me because I have a fat ass. So I am sorry, that is very unfair to me, but it's still, if you have a normal ass, it's still going to be hard for you. The freaking, oh my god, the freaking the size. And let me tell you, the girl behind me, she put all of her barracks and everything on the freaking windowsill, right? The space, the place, like with the window, where the window is, and there's just like a small space where you could put, she put her barracks there, and I couldn't even do that. So you know what I had to resort to? I had to put some of my barracks. Oh my god, look at this freaking cutscene. I hate this about Genshin. Why did they put this cutscene? Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so she, at least she has a windowsill to put her barracks in. I didn't have it, so I have to put some of my barracks on the freaking the table sideways, right? And the rest of them just where I was sitting, the the desk, just barely managing it, and half of my ass was in the air, and half of my bare ass was in the air, and I could not do anything about it. And I put my water bottle down to the right side of me, and the freaking invigilator put me to put it somewhere else. Dude, I don't have space. What do you want me to do? Should I put it everything on my head? Anyways, somehow, after like literally, I kid you not, I counted 6 times where my bare acts have fallen. These 6 times I have counted. I don't know if it was more than that or not. Right? 6 times I remember. I counted 6 times. And literally half of the time I was trying to manage how to sit on that, because my ass was in the air half the time. And imagine like doing the paper like that. And you know what? At this point, half an hour has been passed. By the way, I tell you, right? And the exam was going horribly, right? I know, but it's fine. I know, I anticipated that it could happen, because I was just getting into it, and only half an hour has been passed, and I still have like 2.5 hours to get through this like 100 questions. You know what? I was Never mind, I'm just getting sidetracked so bad, and I have to finish the story. Okay, so at this point, the invigilator comes. She checks my what's it called, OMR sheet, right? She signs on it. She checks all the details. She signs on it. She sees my admit card, and she signs on that. Okay, and then I was just minding my business, getting, I don't know what to say, like blasted by the freaking questions. That's beside the point. Then a boy comes into the room. He gives his admit card to the teacher, and the teacher, without even looking at the admit card, without anything, she says that we are full. Like, everyone was sitting at the stage. There was no seat left in the examination room for him to have a seat. So she was like, you must have any other room as your room. I was like, fine. I was like, oh, okay, there must be something. And I was like literally not minding it. I was just doing my thing, right? Getting horribly blasted by the freaking questions, right? And then she looked at admit card. She looked at seating arrangement. And you know what happened? She looks at me. And I kid you not, Murphy's laws plays in my head. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. At this point, half an hour has passed. Very easily, half an hour has passed, and this boy shows up half an hour late to the freaking examination, and is now claiming that I am sitting on his seat, which was correct, by the way. I was sitting on the wrong seat. But can you imagine, out of everything, and at this point, I had 2 options. First is to fucking freak out and ruin all of my paper, which would end up not doing anything else. Like, what else? I can't do anything. So you know what my mind did? My mind went blank. Rightfully so, because there was no point in panicking. There is no point in stressing over the situation or having anxiety when nothing is in your hand anymore. Like, I could not get up and go to my correct seat and then start the paper again, because the damage has been dealt. I have signed the OMR sheet. I have written my name and everything, and the freaking teacher has signed it. And now the teacher is telling me, why didn't you? She didn't tell me, actually. That's the thing. The invigilator there, she didn't say anything to me. She didn't blame me. She did say, oh, this is not your seat, oh, you sat on the wrong seat, and whatever. And then she was like, let me just call someone. And then she calls another lady, and till she comes, there's like 5-10 minutes. She comes, right? She comes, and then she just starts berating me. How can you sit on another seat? How can you do that? And this and that. You are wasting his time. You've wasted his examination. What he's supposed to do? And then she goes on and on and on, and I'm just sitting there. Okay, it's fine. And then you know what happens? She's like, okay, I'm just going to call someone else, someone who is, above her and everything, who knows what's going on. What the fuck, what the freak thing is that nobody knows who to contact with if anything goes wrong? Oh my god, have some authority, have some kind of thing, like you know how to resolve. And if you don't, then just straight up talk to that person. Why do you have to go through all the freaking hierarchy? Anyways, then she told me to just go and see what my actual go, and then again see what my roll number is. And you know what, where I have to go and check exactly where my room number and roll number is, what my room number is according to my roll number? I have to go all the way outside the freaking center, outside the main gate. And what else can I do? I just went there outside the gate, and as I was going there, the people there were like, what are you doing? Why are you going outside and everything? And I was like, listen, I have to check, right? And I went inside and I checked my room number. I think it was 100 or 103. I don't remember. It was either 100, 103. Now I don't remember. And then as I was coming inside, they were like, you have to do the checking again. Like, I just went there for a second to check my room number. Why do you have to do checking again? No, you have to check. Okay. So they did my check. And by the way, this all happened in front of their eyes, right? I went outside, I checked my room number, and I came inside, and I was literally in front of their eyes, and they still have to check me, which is good. Understandable. I understand that. So they took my checking again. And now this checking lady is asking me what happened, and I was just smiling and laughing, and I was just telling her I just sat at the wrong seat. Amazing. And then I made my way back there, and that lady who was went there to call another senior, she was still not there, right? And as I sat there on my seat, I looked around and I was like, where is my question paper? Where the frick is my question paper? I couldn't find my question paper, and I was like freaking out, like, what is this happening to me? And I just asked the invigilator, I was like, where's my question paper? And she was like, it's with him. Like, the guy just entered, like, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, his time is also getting wasted, and so I let him have it. He looked at it around like 5 to 10 minutes, and I tell you, I have like somehow like one or two answers marked there, because it's like, what's the matter? And then I got up, no, and then he gave the question paper to me back, and I was looking at it, and nothing was going on inside my head at this point. I was not in the mental state to do the exam. I could not do the exam. It was really horrible for me. Like, I would have somehow, tried to find the answers of the later questions which could have been answered by the BEREC or by my brain in itself. I just could not get through. I could not even read a line. My brain was just so foggy, and I was just sat there, and I was like, this is so bad. This is so bad. Whatever is happening, it's a different thing, but the effect that it had on my mind is very, really bad. That even if I do get like 1.5 hours to do the examination, the kind of mental state that I was in, I don't think I was be able to, do it. At this point, I don't know. So you know what I did? I just gave the question paper back to him, and I was like, let's just go through the question paper, you know, together, and like, see. And then he was trying to find the answer, and I was like, let's just read the questions and try to solve the one which we can do without the bare act, with our own brain, so that whenever we get time, when we get other hours thing, we can just quickly mark it down. And we were doing that, and let me tell you, my mind was still blank. I was just I don't know what I was doing. It was just, I was trying to read, nothing was going in my head. I was just pretending to be like trying to do something there. And then the lady came, and then she came with one sir who came inside the room and then another was outside, and then they gave the whole freaking thing again. Like, how can you sit there? And then he also told the invigilator, didn't you check it? There is your sign in there. How can you do that? And then she said, I said, and then the invigilator says, I told everyone to check it. And there was a roll number printed in my desk, mind you, but as I told you, I just came and I was giving the question paper and I was just filling the OMR sheet, so I just didn't have the time to check, to match. And let me tell you, any person in sane mind would not match once the person who's in position, who's in charge of it, has matched it from the seat arrangement, told you, okay, that's your seat, okay, that's my seat, I just sat down. I'm not saying that I was not at fault. I was at fault. Definitely, it was my fault. It was my bad. But there was also their part. They should have checked it. And if they could not have checked it, they would have at least would not have tried to snatch the roll number, the admit card out of my hand, so that I would have checked it and see that, oh, this number is wrong. So there was difference of like third, fourth digit. There was like 5 or 7, 3 or 7 as there was a difference, and that happened. And now that lady who was there, he's just berating me again. It's like, because of you, this has happened, his time is getting wasted. And then I lost it and then said, ma'am, my time is also getting wasted, right? If he's not doing anything, I'm also not able to do anything. I can't mark on my OMI sheet now. Why are you saying that? And then she was like, your OMR sheet is there, it's getting blank, no one is sitting on your seat. I'm like, but I am sitting here now. I'm not there. I'm not marking my answers there. I'm still here now because I want to figure this out. Would you rather I just ran off to my place and just start? I am in this thing. That's why I'm here. It's like, you can't say that just his time is getting wasted. My time is also getting wasted. And then there was this third, and he was just going on. Okay, so you're here. So this is your seat, and then just send the guy who's there, send him to his seat. And I was like, people, it's like, this is his seat, I am sitting on his seat, how can he go to? They still don't understand the situation. And then I was like, and this guy, the whole time, he's very chill, by the way. Thank God for him. He was a very good sport. He did not say anything to me, which was amazing. Thank you. God bless your soul, by the way. He was very nice about that. But he kept on saying that we could just write a like letter and form, they could just stamp it. And then he was saying that there was still a way for him to retain this his original seat by just putting a stamp and a signature of the person who is in charge, or having a letter, right? And I was like, fine. I didn't know anything, so I just kept quiet the whole time, when because it was my fault, so I just kept quiet. It's just I didn't keep quiet when that lady was just going over her limit and just saying all those things to me, right? And then he's there, and then this, somehow I made him understand, we all made him understand that, okay, this happened, I'm sitting on his seat, my seat is there empty, this is his seat, right? So he's like, okay, so you just stay here, you just sit in this seat, this person will then go to my seat. So I sat on his seat where I was sitting already, and he went into my seat. And then there was like, okay, his attendance, like my attendance sheet came to this room where I was sitting, and I just signed, and his attendance sheet went from my room to their room, and then all those things that happened. And then I was sitting there. Then after 5 minutes, I asked the invigilator, ma'am, now can I sign? Now can I like fill my OMR sheet? And she was like, yeah, the damage is done. Fill the OMR sheet. I was like, yeah, damage is already done. My brain is also done. I don't think and at this, let me tell you, I was under the impression that this thing happened. This took like 45 minutes of my times. But as I was telling you, he was already 30 minutes late. Then this would easily took like 55 minutes of it. I don't remember, but I think it's definitely more than 45. I'm just saying that, okay, 45 minutes wasted. Total wasted. The 10-15 question in the beginning, absolutely no freaking clue. Horrible. Somehow Slowly, I was trying to make my way as my peer acts were falling down for like 10th time, 11th times, sixth time, by the way. Six is what I counted. And they were just, can you imagine? You're in the flow state. Somehow you got one answer right. You find it from the bear act. And then your bear acts fall down. And then you pick it up. And then they fall down. And then you pick it up. Horrible. And then let's talk about the questions itself. Oh my god, the video is going to come at an end and my yapping has not finished. Let me just wrap it up quickly. The questions were horrible. They asked things that like there is no point of us knowing, like why would, okay, anyways. And there was no point in bringing all of the bear acts because nothing was from the bear act. We could not find anything in the bear acts. And then they asked question about the most stupid bear acts. Nobody freaking brought those bear acts. Anyways, let me just tell you one thing is that it went so horrible. After that, another thing happened. But that's a story time for another time. So it went so bad that I didn't even check the answer keys. For this, my friend somehow, coerced me, convinced me to just check because I was going around be like, I could pass, I might not pass, and they were really worried about me after hearing everything that happened, and they somehow coerced me, and I was like, okay, let's just check it, and then I had to go somewhere, and then I forgot about it, and the next day I had my train to my hometown, and I came here, and I did not bring my question paper with me where I marked all my answers, so now I don't know. Yay. Thank you for listening to me yap about my story time of AIB experience. And if you've been watching the gameplay, thank you for watching that. Yeah, please subscribe if you liked any of the two things, like the gameplay or me talking. Yeah, I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers, so that'd be good. And if you're any of my friends and I've sent you this video, freaking subscribe. I don't know if you've stayed long enough, but freaking subscribe, you guys. I swear to God. Bye. See you soon.